DP driving. Someone said, why do you yell you're DP driving? So I said, I'll make it louder next time. A lot of people are asking me about emotional balance. There's 1,000,001 ways to look at that and work with it. I kind of look at that from more of a holistic approach. Obviously, if you need professional help about that, make sure you're consulting with someone who can help you. But anyway, back to the video. If you look at the 5-element system in Chinese medicine, you got fire, you got water, you got wind, you got metal, you got wood. And within that system, they found the emotions that go with that. And then also in Chinese medicine, there's paired organ relationships that work with those emotions, or with those meridians, or with those elements. So like for an example, like in the water element, there's kidney, bladder, and central emotions. Emotions that revolve around that: fear, dread, remembering something bad, that kind of stuff. You got fire. Well, I should talk about the co-cycle and all those 5 elemental cycles. Maybe I'll make another video on that. But there's the elements themselves have a cycle of creation, and they also have a relationship of destruction. So certain elements destroy other elements, or tone it down, or turn it down, and other elements fuel it up. So there's like a tonification and a sedation, but that's a whole nother video. I'll talk about that next time. But anyway, so that's water. You got fire, which is actually like a huge organ system. It deals with heart, deals with adrenals, deals with small intestine, thyroid, and others. And you end up having emotions of lost, vulnerable, frightfully overjoyed, non-emotive, non-thinking, abandoned, those kind of emotions. Now, with that being said, there's I was going to say honestly, but I guess I should say oddly enough, the osteopaths, which are now osteopathic physicians for political reasons, but those guys developed what are called neurovascular reflexes, where you just gently touch areas of the body, and usually they're 2 points on the body, and you wait until the neurovascular pulses synchronize. I would say probably about 20% of people I know can feel that. So it's an acquired skill, but part of emotional release or correction, or however you want to call it, is the two mental, emotional, neurovascular reflexes developed by osteopaths, nonetheless. And then in addition to that, there's spinal corrections for all the organs. For example, you can look this stuff up, but for example, water element works with kidney. Kidney works with fear, dread, remembering something bad, stuff like that. The spinal correction is T1, T5, and T8 in the thoracic spine to activate the kidney. And so a lot of times you can hold the neurovascular reflex points, do the spinal correction, and clear the nervous system of turbulence associated with that emotion. So there's that. There's other ways of doing it. There's what are called master mu points in Chinese medicine, you could always stimulate those in reference to the organ systems and feed that back through the system for correction. So there's a system, like a systematic approach of identifying, working with, and correcting some patterns that generate nerve interference. And if you've seen the other videos, autonomic nervous system generates fear. So if the autonomics can be regulated in some sense, in reference to what we're talking about, then the system can calm with those subject matters, and it can bring more homeostasis into the system, or balance. So there's a little off tangent on that. So water, fire, wood is another element. Paired organ system, gallbladder, liver, anger, resentment, frustration, stubborn, depressed, stuff like that revolves around that. What else? Metal deals with the, oddly enough, or air. Depends on which 5 elemental system you're working with, but metal or air is the next one of the 5, and then that deals with sadness, grief, dogmatically positioned, feeling stuck in life, stuff like that. What was I going to say? So anyway, so those are the 5 elements. Sometimes you can work with the central vessel system. It's a meridian that goes straight down the center. Governing vessel goes straight all the way up the back. Sometimes that meridian system deals with self-esteem, not feeling good about yourself, other things like that. So those are a review, or an overview, let's say, of the paired organs, elemental system, brief emotions that go with them, various examples of corrections that go with those. They make homeopathic sprays that can neutralize some of the turbulence associated with that for each elemental system. And then also, what was I going to say? Another thing that's important, though, because a hot topic nowadays is people being triggered. Triggered. Everyone's triggered. So sorry if this video is triggering you. I've been triggered. I know exactly what that is. But so what happens is sometimes you can get a stuck emotion, and you can trace it back to the most original timing on that. So like, let's say I was frustrated about the concept of being triggered. Liver, gallbladder, wood element. But then you can go back into history. When's the first time the system learned about frustration that is similar that the person's feeling when they're triggered? So you can go back into time, preconception, conception to 0, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. Find what year it was incepted, if you will, and then tag the current triggering frustration to the original concept and time idea of frustration. And then you can clear the whole thing out. So it's a pretty nifty concept. So honestly, this is more of an informational video. And I guess I would say consult a professional who can help you with things if you think you have issues in that department. But I thought I'd make a brief overview of just emotional healing and how emotions work. Like always, there's a spectrum of pathology. So, if you're extremely pathologic and need help, go consult, a professional that can help you. But so I thought I would just make a little video on that. If you enjoyed the content, share it with one of your friends, one of your family members. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like that. And hit that notification icon if you want to be notified when I drop another video, if you will. And like always, guys, thanks for all the love and support. I'll see you on the next one.